What's up, Earthlings? Vegan sausages, vegan sandwiches. I think it's fun to always start with a new word like what's or good morning. Because for my English vegan sandwiches, I don't identify with the word vegan anymore because I don't want to be limited, like caught up, like identity wise, like this is who I am. Like, no, moment to moment, I am my authentic self and I listen to my body consciousness, and I recommend everyone to listen to his or her body consciousness because only you, your higher self, can tell you yourself what's good for you individually. And I certainly don't want to judge anymore. So, good morning, Earthlings.
Just sounds like you're an alien when you say that.
What's a good word? Bloom babies.
Bloom babies.
I mean, I still love vegan sandwiches.
Why don't you say that?
Yeah, because I also like to say many things.
Okay.
Because vegan savages for me, just that you know, you don't need to be vegan to be a vegan savage. It's, you know, the polarities, vegan and savage. It's like yin and yang. And it's just more personal than for me saying like community or fans, because people who listen to us are certainly not fans. I mean, maybe some, but most people get that like we're all the same. How are you feeling your body, baby? Sorry for this little monologue.
It's okay. It's just like, I'm good. And I'm very grateful that I went to bed early last night. And I woke up naturally at 6 a.m., which is like my normal rhythm. I feel like that's the one that feels the best for me. And I like did breath work and meditation and went to the gym and, you know. Oh, started writing my book.
Yay.
I put like an hour on the timer. I was writing this
Can you hold it
morning.
a bit higher, the mic? Yeah.
Oh, the mic.
Yes.
And then I came home and took a nap, or like laid down to rest a little bit. And then I read in bed, and then now we're making a podcast. It's all my favorite things.
Yeah, it's like this meme. My wealth is determined by how much I do the things I love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing, living our best life. And thus we're getting those reflections. Simple as that.
How do you feel in your body?
So good. It's really hot today. So we turned the AC on and I can feel the room cooling down and it feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like this is everything, baby. Like I never was so in love with life. Like I never, like this version of myself I love so much. Our relationship, like where we got, is the most exciting chapter ever, because like now I fully see you and can meet you and have like this whole new spectrum of superpowers of how I experience reality and like how I feel and the things I'm like feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And the collective, for me, I never have been to a place that felt more home than this. I told you, like last year when I came for the breath work,
You mean ever or?
Ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful.
I mean, like, no front to my mom.
I was like, what about your own home?
Yeah. But it's like, it was always in the system.
Not your house in Berlin?
Oh, baby.
I don't know.
It was like there. It was like productive, or what's the word? Efficient. Yeah, it was really efficient to like get me here.
Practical.
Yeah, it was super practical. But I didn't feel like I told you when I was laying in your arms, I was saying, this feels like Christmas. Because the feeling of Christmas is like home, and when you come together and
I love that moment, because we weren't even dating yet.
Yeah, but we both already saw the timelines, and we were just like playing like, we don't allow it yet, step by step. And then we took MDMA like, what are we doing? I love you so much. Yeah, and like we took MDMA here, and this actually this one MDMA
and
trip.
We held hands the whole time, even when one of us needed to pee. We held hands.
Like this was the most amazing day. Of course, the most amazing day is today, but you know, this was like.
I know, I love
that. And the memory of that here, every day I have flashbacks.
Aww.
And that's why maybe on my birthday, I would love to take MDMA here again.
Mm-hmm.
And
kick Sergey out.
And it's his birthday
as well. It's his birthday too.
So ironic.
We're living with someone I used to date, and him and Ferdi have the exact same birthday and very, very similar human design. It's
And
like, what's happening in the universe with that one?
it's like, if
Now we
people
all live
don't
together.
get synchronicity or if people get synchronicity and are still surprised, I'm like, stop acting surprised. This is how the universe works. It's full of wonders. And it's ironic that in the last podcast I said I'm done with psychedelics and now I'm speaking about taking MDMA, but this is literally the only substance that is for me non-psychedelic.
Because it gets you in your body. It's not
Yeah.
going into the universe.
And it's something I have only taken twice, so this is something I only take
And
rarely.
even then, I wouldn't take as much as we took before.
No. And this is something like really special, and it feels like it's a
Yeah.
new chapter in our relationship, so it would be about time.
I do feel like when you take MDMA consciously, like with your partner, with some close friends, in a very contained, safe environment, and you read up on all the things you need to do before and after you take MDMA, like literally you can Google, what should I do to prepare to take MDMA? There's tons of articles. And it's a really beautiful thing. It's like super amazing and like very healthy. Like in the States, they're doing MDMA therapy with therapists now. It's like legal. So it's not just us being crazy hippies on the island trying to tell people to take drugs.
Do your
Wait,
research.
hold on.
And as I always recommend, thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy Afro didn't bark.
Yeah, Afro, good job. The Lazada man came, if you don't know, it's like the Thailand Amazon, and it works really well. Like we're living on an island, and it's like, what reality did we shift in?
I know, and we didn't have Lazada when COVID first happened. I want you to know that was very new. We
It's
did have it,
amazing.
but you couldn't order that much. And now it's like you can get anything that you want to get on Lazada.
And yeah, what I just wanted to say
Oh, yeah.
about MDMA, as always, follow your highest excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Follow your body consciousness, or however you want to call it.
I remember last time we took MDMA, which is like the second time you've ever taken it.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, we want to take MDMA, but I'm like, I don't want to get it from a drug dealer. I want it to be like very synchronistic and like universal. And then we were standing, where were we? We were at the gym here.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a vegan savage walked up, and did we ask her, or they already, or she said we're coming back from partying or something.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh, actually, we were looking to get some MDMA. She's like, actually, I have some and I want to get rid of it because I'm leaving the island soon. And then we traded her some for acid. It was great.
All the synchronicity, you know? Baby.
Yes, baby.
What should we talk about?
Didn't you say there was some stuff that you
Yeah.
wanted to see
Yeah.
from the last episode? If
If
you haven't listened to all the episodes, they're all
we
very great.
listen, catch up.
Lots of things happening.
And one thing when I was setting up the podcast that came to my mind, so it's really random, but why not talk about this? When you say trauma informed, like you say Jasmine is really trauma informed, like what do you mean by that? I was just randomly thinking about it. I'm like, what does this actually mean? So maybe we can share it with my being savages.
Okay, so this is a good one because some people were asking after listening to my podcast, the one where it's titled, Why Did I Almost Break Up With You?
It's going viral. It's all over the news.
I have gotten so many messages about it.
And if you want my
positive.
reaction to that, listen to the last episode.
The one
it's
right
called
before this.
Why I almost died taking psychedelics. We're so dramatic.
So dramatic.
But also so true.
Our life is like a movie. One of the people, the beautiful people listening to this episode, I was saying, why did I almost break up with you? She asked, I don't really actually know what it means to host someone emotionally. Like, what does that actually mean? It sounds like you're saying it as if it's a thing that some people need to learn. So when you're thinking of trauma awareness and emotional like communication skills, these all kind of go into the same bucket of like a toolkit. If we're talking about like emotional maturity, there is dealing with your own shit. So like all of us have gone through some form of trauma, and trauma just means something bad happens, you feel alone, you're overwhelmed, your nervous system is literally overwhelmed, and you're not able to process the situation, and the energy, you just shut down. The energy gets stuck in your body. And so like our bodies hold energy in different organs depending on what it is. Like anger is in the kidneys, and this over here, and like there's like different things, or things that happen where the energy took, like if it was a physical trauma, there's like obviously the energy stuck there, but emotional trauma still gets stuck in the body in a physical way. So if you're trauma informed, you're able to, it just means like you've taken courses specifically on how to, like, what is trauma, how to release it, how to host other people in their trauma. And you're like, you've taken courses, you've read books, you know, like you're trauma informed, like you know what to do with it. Like if someone is freaking out or having a panic attack or, you know, they're going through something major, you can just be like, I understand. This is what we need to do. Here's like steps to handle the situation. So, for instance, Jasmine, one of my very close friends, her and I met at a trauma awareness training that I took on the island 2 years ago that she was co-facilitating. So she's like, helping lead this facilitation training. And then the emotional, I just want to talk about the emotional hosting, because this goes into trauma awareness, is like when you're hosting someone in their emotions, like so when you're little, your parents are supposed to teach you about how to regulate your own nervous system. So that means like when you get upset, how do I calm myself down? What like emotional tools, like what do I say to myself? What can I do? What physical action can I do? Should I go for a walk? Should I journal? Like, what can I talk to myself and say, it's okay, everything's going to be okay. Like kind of teach you, your parents are supposed to teach you how to be your own inner parent. If they are not aware of emotional tools or like literally don't know how to do this or like abusive, then they don't give you those tools of like communication, asking for help, having resources of like what to do when you get overwhelmed. Like parents are supposed to teach you this. So when you host someone emotionally, that means like that person has hit a point where they're not able to host themselves in that moment. They're like overwhelmed or, you know, like they're at a point where they're like reaching like maximum level in their nervous system. And then it's really beautiful if, you know, your partner or your friend or whoever is there that cares about you can be like, hey, I'm going to be like, you know, your inner parent right now for you externally. And I'm just going to host you emotionally right now. Share with me your feelings. How does that feel? Let me walk you through this. Let me calm you down. So that means like hosting someone emotionally. All of us have the responsibility to first know how to host ourselves. And like, this is our responsibility. It's not your job, Ferdi, as my partner, to host me and emotionally all the time. But this is also why we have each other, is because this is what co-regulation is like self-regulation is I regulate my own nervous system, my emotions, my emotional reality. Co-regulation is like we help each other regulate our nervous systems. Like we're partnering on it. And again, like everyone should be self-responsible, but in loving, healthy relationship dynamics, romantic, friendship, parents, family, whatever, you co-regulate, you help each other, you care about each other, you want to host each other, you want to like, yeah, tell me what's going on. I'm here for you. Let me like sit down and talk this out with you.
And it's also so beautiful when it comes out of abundance that, yes, you can do it, but it's so nice. It feels so good when we do it for each other because we love us.
Yeah.
It's like also seeing the beauty in quote unquote the darkness when like I read this quote like I faced my toughest moments when I was alone and everyone else was thinking I was fine. And I
say it in German for the Germans.
Little cut in from me from the future. Hi. Why Brittany wanted me to say it in German is she understood, and rightfully so. If you like go back a couple of seconds, you will hear it yourself. She thought it's a Crow quote. If you don't know Crow, he's a German rapper. And I said like, it is Crow quote. I even said it, like I misspoke. And that's why she wanted me to translate it into German. Because now we're wondering like, why is Brittany making you say it in German, or like where's the context, because she understood it's a German Crow quote, which is not, so that's why.
Just say it, it's nice.
But I just like I read it in English.
I know, but I want to hear it in German.
Ich habe meine schwersten Momente alleine durchstanden und alle dachten, mir geht's gut.
Good.
You like that?
Yeah, dankeschön.
But did you hear what I said? And I like, for me it was actually the same. And then I was like, should I be proud of that? And then like, no, it's like I had to do it because no one had the tools, and myself, I just had the tools for myself, but I also wasn't at the level where I could consciously talk about it. Like
Wait, I want to make sure I understand what you're saying first. So you're saying that you said you were fine, but you were actually not fine, and you just felt like no one could host you.
yeah, that I like the toughest moments I
Uh-huh.
hosted mostly myself.
Okay.
That like the hospital time and stuff like
Yeah.
that, or things like there was no one there. Like so I hosted myself, and this is nothing to be proud of. Like getting help from everywhere is so beautiful. Helping each other and teaching each other to have the tools how to host each other. And this is something you so greatly taught me, and now by you teaching me, we teach the world, because we spoke about it so much, about creating space, asking clarifying questions, taking a deep breath after you get triggered, or if you're triggered, just like separate physically, going for a walk, and creating spaces for each other and letting the other person have the process, like not
Yeah.
like you can ask, like, do you want comfort or solution? And then giving mostly comfort first, and the other person finds the solution him or herself, and then the other person asks, like, yeah, what do you think? Yeah, now I would like your solution. And just like how I started, that even the quote unquote darker, negative moments, they're the same beautiful, you know, and they're so beautiful when we share them. So what I'm saying, like, get help, and this is like what we're doing. We're being,
Get help.
I mean, like, never be ashamed or think it's a weakness to ask for help.
Of course, yeah.
And that's why we're
Is
doing
this a
it.
German thing?
I think this is a global thing,
Because in the States, it's very normal to have a therapist.
but like most relationships, speaking about relationships, for
Okay.
example, they are like private, you know, and we're like showing them that we, in our relationship right now, we talk what's happening right now vulnerably, like we don't pretend fake mask, everything is fine. We're like, we're fucking real, and we're vulnerable, and we can all learn from each other. And I encourage people to be vulnerable, because how should people help you if you're not showing yourself vulnerably? So yeah, but all you said, I just want to say this was really trauma informed, and I feel like I learned this so from you. So I would say I'm trauma informed too, and I want to teach people to, like co-regulate, to learn the tools. And if you've listened, then you know what's up. So keep doing that to your friends. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's this really great quote by Brene Brown. She writes these books that I always want you to read.
I'm on it, baby.
One of my
Page
favorite
2.
ones is, I think Daring Greatly is one of my favorite books by her. She says in there, this quote that I love is, share your story. So the things that you're going through, like that are deep and you need co-regulation on, share your story with those who have earned the right to your trust. So it's not that we go through and we just like share what's going on with us with like the mail person and like a salon lady and like whatever. It's like invest in the relationships that you feel safe with, your friends, your family, your partner, and go deeper together, you know? Like these are the people that are supposed to be here for you, like through thick and thin, through all of it. And I feel like sometimes because we love these people so much, we don't want to burden them. We feel like, oh, I don't want to be too much. This is something I heard a lot in the women's circles that I was hosting in Berlin. Is like, if I share my emotions, am I too much? And it's like, no, this is what we're here for. This is the human experience, to like share our raw and real emotions, not the intellectualized version of them, like what is alive in us right now in this moment, and to be held in that space even when we don't have the solution, and not giving each other the solution. It's more about the connection while in the void of not knowing. That's the really beautiful moment.
Say the last sentence again.
It's not about having the solution to the problem. Like we're all going through stuff, right? Like our challenges and whatever we're growing in. And the goal is not about the solution to the problem. The goal is feeling connected with the people we love in this void of unknowingness, of like, I don't know what the fuck to do, but I am connected to my tribe, my community, my partner, and we love each other and we're doing it together. That's all that matters.
Yeah, because let me tell you, you will never know it all. Never, never, never. We always know what we need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we never figure it all out. So, and what we want is actually the connection. So let's like be vulnerable in the connection.
For sure.
And what you said about sharing it with people where you feel safe. This is amazing. And what I would encourage people, we all have social media, to just, and you don't need to like make a podcast, but you can make like a simple, I don't know, Facebook post of how you're feeling. And you don't need to go so deep in it, and you will be probably amazed. Oh, they're bringing on new water.
It's like the full delivery system here.
It's our life. People just bring us gifts, It's like Jesus and Magdalene when all they came, when Jesus was born, they brought all the gifts.
Oh, hold on, maybe.
Okay. So what I wanted to say, we all have social media, just sharing your true vibration, and you know how the universe works. What you put out is what you get back. And we're back. Yeah, just that, like, what you put out is what you get back.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing it on social and just seeing the magic of, because, you're surprised. People will be surprised how many people actually are there for you. But how should they be there if you don't share?
No,
Yeah.
I think that's great. I love that you said that. And also I had someone tell me this morning that they felt like you were the one who doesn't do that on social media.
Really?
At least not on Instagram.
And the thing is, I do, but it's like I'm really doing so great most of the time that I'm not crying in my bed, and there's like I really, like, I'm living my best life. And when we had this recently, I was in the middle of figuring that out, and I knew.
Yeah, and I think that's totally valid.
Exactly, and I knew I would share that soon.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there it's like in these phases, like and then it's important here. I want to emphasize that when you're like in the middle of figuring something out, it's so nice to not share, to like really hear your own voice instead of having all these voices from other people, especially about relationships and stuff.
Oh my God, yes.
Figure out your own love and what you have in each other.
Unless it's someone that you really value their opinion, like a counselor or like an older friend, or, but if it's just asking anyone, they're all going to tell you whatever they want to hear.
Yeah, baby, so many like blah where I can just see through it because they want me to break up because like they're jealous of you, or they whatever. Or they also want to have a laugh like this. So this is Afro Bear.
She's actually like the most scared dog, but she has a big bark. She will never bite anyone.
She just likes protecting us. And I like that. So we're protected by Afro Bear.
Another thing I love about Thailand is I can just pay them online because like we have a Thai bank account and I can just pay them.
And it's all so simple. Like in Germany, it's like no. This is the rule, and even if the rules don't make any sense, it's like the system. There's like it's not a person, it's a system. And then you call them, and they're like, I cannot do anything for you. It's the system, it's the rule. And I'm like, what the fuck? And here they're like, yeah, whatever, okay. Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, I want to validate what you said. I think it's very important to allow yourself to be fully present when you're moving through something, unless you need help.
Yeah.
And then, like, of course, reach out to the people, like, who, like, for instance, when we were coming to the island, we were in Germany, and I was saying that I couldn't really figure out what was going on in me, but I knew that I needed outside help of our relationship. And so I immediately reached out to friends who I knew had just had like some good experience with therapists on the island, because I was saying I feel like we should get couples counseling, So I was before we even got to the island, I was like reaching out, setting up appointments, and so I think it is important to reach out. If you're watching the video right now, Afro's being very cute.
Yes, and I also encourage people to not go in the victim role, because there's like I can share how I'm feeling with like, yeah, pull it in me. Or just like how we want outside help. We want like, can you recommend something of like being vulnerable but out of your power, instead of going into the victim mode. But yeah,
people are only going into the victim mode when they don't realize that they are the creator of their own reality.
I know. Yeah. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about, because in the last two podcasts we talked a lot about, the feminine, like you going in your full power and how powerful that is. And I listened to it, and for some people who maybe didn't get it, I want to emphasize that that like obviously men are not bad. It's like we're talking about the like how in the cycle of this forgetfulness, where we created this system based on fear, this toxic masculinity became so dominant, and it's like kicking it back into balance and understanding like, no, women are not more powerful. It's just they're so heavily suppressed. And I am amazed, and maybe many men too, who start seeing women how powerful they actually are. But it's not that we now bow down to women and now the world belongs to women. It's like the woman and the man both stepping in their healthy, divine power and then co-creating the new earth. And this is one thing. And the other thing is that also for all the men, knowing we all have masculine and feminine energy in us, so all the things we speak about feminine energy that is so amazing and powerful, like everyone has that in themselves, and I recommend to everyone to activate that. And this is like where it all starts, like self-love, like the divine union in yourself, where those energies are balanced. Maybe you want to say something to that?
Yeah, because the first relationship we have is with ourselves. It's not with anyone outside of us. And everyone wants this perfect relationship, right? Like they're like, I want to find my soulmate, my twin flame. Everything will be perfect after that.
After that.
And then when you start doing the work of like, or the fun, home fun, whatever you want to call it, doing the consciousness growing within your body, you realize that...
I'm good.
Well, yeah, you realize you are good all in yourself. And this is why so when we say divine union within yourself, that means each of us has the masculine and the feminine energies in us. And that when you have divine union with yourself, you are completely balanced in those. So like something that is a more masculine trait, like for me, going to work or going and getting things, like doing things in the physical reality, that's very masculine. So like doing things on my to-do list.
Ordering us the water.
Or getting the cleaner to come, like doing things around the house. That's me being in my masculine. Me being in my feminine is, laying down, letting you edit the podcast while I lay next to you.
Can you get us a Daily David cacao?
Yeah,
Ferdi?
having you go get us a Daily David cacao.
Petting Afro.
I get ready, getting cuddly with Afro. So for me, throughout the day, I am switching back and forth in my, leading in my masculine energy or my feminine energy. And it's like whenever I need it, like today I woke up early and I felt like I did a lot in the 3D, which I was very grateful for because I loved all the things, but my body needs to rest. I felt like when we got home from the gym, I was like in this mode where I didn't want to be touched because I was undercarbed, and I realized this too late. And so I needed to eat and then allow my body to catch up. And then now I got pretty and I'm like, I'm in my feminine. And so like wherever it's needed, it's just like it gets activated in you. For a lot of people, like especially, with a lot of men, their feminine has been very suppressed. Like, and this is from programming in the Matrix. They're not able to, like growing up, a lot of men are only given two emotions, happiness and anger. Like everything else is stop crying, you're a pussy, or like, even when they share their emotions with the feminine, a lot of times they're not hosted because women are like, what? You have more like some women are so overwhelmed that men actually have emotions they're sharing that they kind of like joke it off. They don't actually be like, wow, this is a really big moment. Thank you for sharing your emotions. Like, how can I be here with you in this? And so it's so vulnerable for men to step into the feminine because they want to be valuable. They want to make something of themselves in the world, and they want to be loved. And they feel like if they are sharing this more feminine, flowy, energy with the world, which is like very connected to our emotions, our intuition, they're worried that they will be deemed weak and therefore valueless and therefore not lovable. And this is like such a slippery slope. And so many men, I see them in the gym like every day. They're just like, I'm tough. Like a lot of them maybe are like up, what do they call it? Juiced up.
Yeah, taking steroids.
Yeah, testosterone steroids. And they're just like, "Brr, brr, brr. You love me now, right? You love me." And I'm like, whew, I would love it if you just like, ask me how I felt in my emotions. We could like sit and cuddle and like, have like a very connected conversation and like vibe on that level. And for me, in order to vibe on that level, someone needs to be balanced in their masculine and their feminine, because then we can flow the energy back and forth.
Beautifully said. Yeah. And it's this nice flow. Like, you know, when we started, when I came into your life, I was like, I wasn't such a fan of even labeling it as masculine and feminine energy, because I don't encourage people being in their head about that. Am I now my feminine and I know my masculine? It like comes naturally, organically, and it comes back to this, I call it gender neutral flow. Like, remember when we were kids, we're just like vibing, we're just like flowing.
Yeah, you know, like, am I a girl or a boy?
Yeah, and we're in it because this was our excitement, and full circle. This is all what it comes. This is all what it is. But it's nice to be conscious of everything. So now when I think about my day, I'm like, I see how I'm. Like I think about the day. There was my masculine, there was my feminine, and now it all comes so organic. But it is nice to be conscious that I see you like really need to be in your feminine right now. So I'm excited to be a good husband for you and to do this because I love you so much. This is actually my highest excitement. And the thing is, when I'm alone, I'm a lot in my feminine because I love it when I like, you know, being on Pinterest, doing my infographics for Instagram or editing the podcast and the thumbnail and being on my scooter, listening to Crow and just like taking my morning coffee to the beach, doing my breath work. Like I don't do it in this masculine way of like, I get it done. No, I want to enjoy it, you know, and I want to feel my body.
Be flowy.
Yeah, and like one of my new highest excitements is making friends with all the dogs on the beach. Like I was afraid, and I go to the other dogs and I give them love, and they come, and then they become friends, and Afro gets jealous, and like this is I would
She gets so jealous.
yeah, I would. It's certainly my feminine because I want to enjoy it. I want to feel it. I'm not like, okay, I go now efficiently to the beach 10 minutes and then like, no, I go when I want to go, how long I want to be. And then when we're together, I'm I don't know the word.
You have the tendency.
Like, or no, overall, that's a better word, be more in my masculine because it allows you to be in your feminine and your feminine to witness that and you like being in your feminine, you bounce the energy to me, you know? And then I see your inner child coming out, being happy, making love with me in Sand Beach. It is like...
You just want to tell people how we made love yesterday in the water.
We made love in Sand Beach.
In the water.
Yeah, and we were like in it. Like I had my eyes closed for a while and I opened it, it was like dark. I'm like, what happened? And I mean, yeah, so it's just this nice flow. And I just wanted to talk about that we all have it in ourselves. And I encourage men to consciously be more in your feminine and like enjoy how you're feeling, not getting the things done, but how do you enjoy making the infographics, doing breath work, going for a walk, listening to music? Like, how does it feel in your body?
Yeah.
Body.
And also, there's an invitation there when the men that are listening are with the women that they care about in their lives to step into their masculine more and like offer to help with things and, you know, just like be this really healthy masculine energy that feminine can just melt into. And that's like what all of us want. I mean, I'm speaking for women right now, but that's literally what all of us want, you know?
Yeah, and then we men get the reward, you know?
Yeah, because I'm like, now I want to fuck you.
Yeah, and also this, like, Crow on his new EP made a whole song about it, that, like, it's just so nice to do that because you give everything meaning for me, you know? Like,
yeah, I just like my appreciation and my love energy flowing towards you is like whoa.
And yeah, and it all starts to like when you wake up, you know nothing has a built-in meaning, and when it's so easy to give things meaning. Like when I get to Daily Davy and get cacaos for both of us, and I know you're at home, and because I do that, you can be like in your feminine and da-da-da, and I come home and I bring them to us, and you're excited, and we do this podcast now. Like it has so much meaning. And yeah, this Crow song is great. And the hook is then like, nothing in return, that like unconditional, you know, like I love doing it, not conditionally. I want nothing in return because this feels so good being of service.
Yeah.
And like I love coming home with Afro and going to the cake place and FaceTiming you, like, what cake do you
Oh,
want?
I love that too.
And it's just like, it's family, you know? It's like caring. We actually build a tribe. We actually care for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then we take turns on how we care for each other.
Mm-hmm. And it all comes out of abundance. Like we're doing this after already taking care of ourselves and nourishing ourselves. And then it's like, okay, I got this extra energy. Like, where do I put it? Of course, I want to put it into someone I love, you know, and like nurture that relationship. And I was reading this book, this Anastasia series that I recommend everyone to read. You can DM me if you want the PDF.
I'm reading it right now.
And in there, she says that like the world will shift its frequency level if each person woke up in the morning and for 10 minutes they could lay in bed or meditate and they just think about people they love and things that they love. And they just rest in that energy of just sending them love, receiving love. And I did that today when I lay down to nap. I thought of all the people I love, like Isa and Jasmine and like all these people. I'm like, I'm so happy they exist in the world. And like you, and I'm so happy I get to like share my love with all of you. Ooh, it makes me want to cry a little bit.
Yeah, I love doing that too. Baby.
Oh, and something I was thinking.
I have one thing to add to this.
Yeah.
That also sometimes, or every now and then, we quote unquote switch the role that you are in your masculine and I'm in my feminine and you're like helping me with something. And it's just like, it's not that it goes one way. It's like,
of course,
like here, you're living in Thailand for a while, like you ordered the water, you got the cleaners this morning. It's just, and that's why it comes back to this gender neutral flow that is just because we love each other.
Of course. Or like when we find a mouse somewhere and you get scared and you don't want to touch it.
You got this away, thank you. And Tiergarten. I'm like, there's a situation. I really need you right now. And you showed up. Yeah, what did you want to say?
I feel that so much of this, you know, I think in the last podcast, I don't know, we've been making a lot of podcasts recently, but in one of the recent ones, I said that the polarity in the world right now is very in the masculine. So it's like out of balance into the masculine. This is not saying men are bad or masculinity is bad. It's just we want to energetically as a consciousness, you know, a collective consciousness of the world be in balance in the masculine and the feminine. And right now, the masculine's a little bit off the charts. I really feel that a huge solution to this is if the masculine would allow themselves to be more in their feminine, would allow themselves to be more in their bodies, and to like not expect so much out of themselves and allow themselves to receive love and, you know, believe that they are worthy of this just for existing. I feel that this would actually heal a lot of the masculine that's happening right now. Is I when I look at what's happening in the world, like it just feels like a lot of men who feel very unloved, like world leadership, you know, like talking about like mainstream news stuff. Like it feels like a lot of men who feel very unloved and they're all just like bickering with each other or like starting wars or, you know, and I'm like, I feel like they need a hug. I feel like they just need someone to be like, you're okay. You're doing great. Just like chill out. Let's just hang out a little bit. Like this is the feminine. Like let's just be together.
Do you need a hug right now? Will someone give him a hug? Remember when Bashar said that? This one transmission, that was so nice. She was like crying and, do you need a hug right now? Can someone give her a hug? Wow. Shout outs to Bashar. Yeah, what you just said. Yes, baby. Yes. Like all the things we said and especially you said in the last episode, and you so woke me up to all of this, and I'm like walking around like seeing this all now way more, you know, like I see it now how fucked up many things are, and then like they're doing it out of love because they have all this programming in them, and it's now all getting on the table, and they're like, I'm so feeling so called to teach the man how to be good man, how to listen, just listen to her, just stop talking about yourself for a second and actually listen and check in and then like really listen, like, oh, what she's saying is actually a good point.
Yeah, because I see the feminine right now in the world trying to balance out this polarity and balance by being more in their masculine. They're like, fine, okay, if you guys are super in your masculine, then I will be my masculine to just be able to play with you. But we don't want to do that. Like, at the end of the day, that doesn't feel good in a woman's body for me to like put on a suit and go to work, you know, and like sit in an office all day long and pretend like
And
I don't have emotions.
the thing is, men also don't want to do
I
that.
know.
They do it because then I get all the women and they want to fuck me. But why do I want this? Because I want connection. So I get over this guy and I backstab him and I conquer and like, no, stop. Just stop.
And I saw this a lot when we were living in Germany this summer. It was like so many women in their masculine, you know, they're so frozen. They've become like men where they don't have emotions. And it's like, this is not solving any of this.
That's why we're out here in paradise hosting play parties and we have aesthetic dances. And yeah, this winter we have many great excitements of what we want to host.
So many juicy things coming up.
One new special thing we want to try. Not gonna announce it yet.
Yeah, let's keep it secret.
Yeah, but just like where it's like we're living it. Because the best thing is by like the only thing that's real is the experience. When people experience how reality can feel, then they don't want to go back to blah. And then you also wake them up to the universal message that what you put out is what you get back. If you're like actually being yourself and enjoying what you're doing, you're getting all those reflections. If you're doing shit you don't want to do, guess what? You get reflections of shit. And you get more shit. And then you're just drowning in a pile of shit.
Okay. Got it.
You got it?
Yes, I got it.
So, baby, I love our lives.
Me too.
So yeah, this was everything I wanted to talk about. Now we can talk about whatever.
I want to just talk about the Copenhagen for a second because I just feel this like really strong feeling of home now. And in the past when I was here, I was very much in a leadership role. Like we had this remote collective as a community space, and during lockdown this was like the main hub for events on the island. So because all the yoga studios were closed and everything, and it was illegal to actually meet in groups, but because this was a secret villa and the landlord is part of the mafia, it was like she said it was okay, you know.
Yeah, this villa, like this is a portal, and this is also protected by the universe.
But when I was hosting events and like being a leader in the community before, I didn't have very good boundaries. And so I kept wanting to run away from the space, the community, my home. And this is very much reflecting how I felt growing up, where I needed to take care of my parents and everyone. And I was like always trying to help everyone and never feeling like I was recharging and never feeling like it was enough and that I could just rest and like be. And so then I ran away from home and like traveled to all around the world and like just kept running, you know, and also like running away from my cult and like everything that was part of that situation. But now I want to ground here with you, and I don't want to run away from this, you know. And so I'm just like speaking this out loud in case anyone's ever experienced something like this before. And I love that you and I are so good at helping each other honor our boundaries. Like we like have little like impromptu meetings throughout the day where we share like, okay, I messaged this person, or like this person invited me to host their launch party of their event space. Should I do it? I don't actually feel called to do it, but you know, old me would have just done it because I know everyone. It would be very easy for me. And then I just like keep reaffirming what's good for me right now, which is to focus my energy on us and this space and writing a book and just being in the flow here. And that feels so beautiful, and I'm so grateful for it. And I'm grateful like for our partnership and love that we become this superpower. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So yesterday we met some really cool people at Ecstatic Dance. This Yonif guy, someone who is visiting from Pi and is like a close friend of one of my like soul family on the island. And he messaged me this morning and sent a voice message because we connected online. And he was like, I just want to say it was so nice being with the beingness of being with you and Ferdi, and like it was such a beautiful connection, and just like how activating and empowering you guys are, like individually and as a couple. He was like, I was super inspired. And I was like, wow, this is so nice. Like, I want to hang out with him again, you know? But it's just nice that we can just go out and like be ourselves, and like that is enough, you know?
The guy with the cool style, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I followed him as well, and he's so cool. He's like, he embodies his authentic self. Like, he's not trying. He's like, am I this? Like, no, this is him.
He just is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hang out with him. Let's start our Thursday dinners, but all in flow. Not every Thursday, but let's just get together with cool people and vibe. And yeah, what you just said, it's so powerful to have each other and no, that's not a good word. Like empower each other.
Like reaffirm.
Reaffirm each other of your power. Like to ask something, oh, this person is asking me something, and then like the person I'm close with, you are less close with, and the person you're close with, I sometimes don't even know. And then I can see it from the outside. I'm like, you're giving this person so much, like you're getting caught up again, and everyone loves your energy, but you're here for big things. Like you can write this book, millions of people, like we want to help people, but we want to have the biggest impact and follow our excitement and not just people please. So it's so nice to have each other and check in and empower each other. And I encourage everyone doing that the same, like empower, and you feel like since you came in my life, baby, I fully stepped in my power because I feel so empowered knowing you have my back and you're like not letting anything slip, or like if someone wants to do shit to me, you don't allow it, and I don't allow it either to you.
Remember the thing that happened on the plane?
Yeah, oh, baby, we should
tell the story.
You should tell the story.
Okay.
You're going to tell it?
I don't know. I don't care. Do you want to?
Yeah, no, you, yeah.
We were coming back from Thailand, from Germany to Thailand, like on this last plane ride, and you know, we had been going through a lot, and we were just like newly connecting and like just being our little buzzy selves. And also, Ferdi really, really hates flying, so just putting that into the story. And so, usually when we're flying, I'm kind of more in my masculine and like making sure we get to the place and making sure. I mean, we do it together as a team, but like emotionally, I'm like holding the space, and I feel that, and I'm totally fine with it. I've flown to over 60 countries. Like I'm just like whatever. I don't care about flying. So we get on I think the first plane, the long plane ride, like 6 hours, and we put our stuff on the overhead, we sit down, and then I think like after the plane ride takes off, we're in the air, and then we both were like getting a little hungry or something. So you went up to take some food out of the backpack. We always pack like apples and like some healthy snacks.
Cucumber.
Oh, yeah. You packed this cucumber that looked like the biggest dildo I have ever seen. And every single airport security that we went through, they kept pulling his backpack aside. And then this one security guy what was it? It was like
Salami.
I don't know, like he was carrot, like he was naming all these random things, and he pulled it out and he was like, cucumber, okay. But it was like everyone thought it was like a weapon. Anyways, so that was also in the backpack, and I think maybe that's what you were going for, was the cucumber.
No, I ate it in Thailand, so there were like many more times. So
you had to go through security where
my higher self put it there and made me not hungry for cucumber until late to have all this fun.
Yeah. But anyways, he
got my Tupperware out or something.
Yeah,
or
whatever.
Corn cakes.
Yeah, and then because we had taken off, like stuff had shifted in the overhead, and something fell on this old German guy that was sitting right in front of us.
And I just want to say, like, it fell while everything was secure up there. I was down there giving you something, and it just fell out because the airplane had turbulences. It wasn't like while I was doing something, it was just like, just fell out, you know?
Yeah, it's just because whatever. And I want to minus that I said old, because some people have a thing with that, but I just mean he was very in the matrix, older than us, and just like you could tell that he was not going to Thailand for the conscious community.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he freaks out and starts like screaming at, stands up, starts screaming at Ferdi in German. We're like sitting down at this point, just trying to like be chill. And then he literally wants to fight Ferdi, like physically. And then I just Ferdi goes into like this frozen, like, I'm sorry, like everything's fine. And, you know, he kind of like zones out sometimes when it's like too much. And I was just like,
It's called de-escalating.
De-escalating, yes. But sometimes when you do this and you don't acknowledge the person, it actually makes them even more angry.
I know, but it's what they deserve. If they're like this.
Okay, anyways, so this happened. He kind of just like checked out, zoned out. And so I get really pissed off because I was like, I also know that plane rides are something that's very stressful for Ferdi. So I was like, hello, you know, like, it was totally an accident. We weren't even there. Something just fell out, like, chill out, you know? And then the guy gets even more upset because it's me, a woman, yelling at him. I don't know why. But I wasn't yelling, but I was like very like activated. I was like matching his frequency, which
dragon
is
energy.
My dragon energy, as Ferdi likes to call it, was coming out. And so then the flight attendant comes and she's like, what's going on? Because the biggest thing on the flight attendant is do not have fights on the plane. Like, she's like, I've flown so many plane rides where the flight attendant is just like trying their best to de-escalate. And so I just explained to the flight attendant, I was like, we were just getting something out. Something fell. We said we were sorry. And now he's freaking out. And the guy's like, oh, you want to fight me? And he just like goes and like literally. And then the flight attendant just like grabs him and is like, okay, we're going to go over here. And then she just like goes away for a while. And then she ends up moving the guy to a different seat, which is fine. Like, we're all like, okay, cool. And then the guy comes back again and is like talking to Ferdi in German and is just like, basically asking Ferdi for his information because he was like wanting to sue you or something.
I just wanted to add, like I said, I ignored him because that's what he deserved. Like, that's not how I mean it. What I do is when like this happened and I said like really honestly like that I'm really sorry and this was an accident, and made like really sure like that I apologize. And then he keeps going and I see the energy goes nowhere, and then I ignore, like my energy goes away to like teach him also less because this is going nowhere. And then I like and then teaching him also like, if you continue like this, you don't get my energy. But if you're nice and see that I apologize and like come with nice energy, I come back to you. But otherwise, my energy it's gone.
Yeah, because people want to pull you into their negativity. And
I don't let myself pull into.
And that's something I've actually learned from you, because for me, I just have dealt with so many men freaking out on me in my life that I hit this dragon energy point, as you like to call it. I just go
I see what happens then, and I saw like by other people when they go into that, then bad things happen.
Yes.
And I don't want bad things. I want to de-escalate, and then I just like be nice. Like recently there was another thing, and I'm just like, okay, I just be nice, and then otherwise like I don't want the police to come or whatever, or he hits me or something, or then just like also to teach them like, if you like this, I'm out. And then he came again. He was like, can you give me your contact? And I was like again, I am really sorry. And then I put my headphones on, and Beck ignored. Like, no, you don't get my contact to sue me in Germany.
It was like a Tupperware, an empty Tupperware that fell on him. It wasn't like he just
wanted to make a big scene. But he like, anyways, so I just like really nicely apologized, and then just like my energy is really out. Like, it's not like ignoring, like full on, he's air, because it's just like the energy goes nowhere. So it's coming out of love.
Why did we even tell this story? I want to make it come back full circle.
Why did we talk about it?
I feel like we got into the story.
But it was a beautiful example of you like being in your masculine, me being my feminine, but that's not why we talked about it. But basically, like, I got your back. This is what it was. So like, you can come into your full power, because like, I literally will freak out on people for you. Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is you don't fuck with my family.
You did it a couple times. Yeah, baby. Thank you. Yeah,
and like these times where I've heard like people have been mean to you, and I know, especially as like a very big, tall, white man, it's not like you can like freak out on them back too, because it also just doesn't look very good. But if I come over there and I'm like, hey, this is not okay. Like, I'm very in my feminine, but I'm very strong, empowered women feminine. Like, I'm watching you, and like, you cannot do this. We do not play like this here. And they're like, you know.
Baby, I love that. And then I'm just like in ignore mode, watching my movie, and they're like, I just want to be loved by you too. I'm like, yeah, then be nice. I'm teaching you a lesson. Do you get it? And then he felt really dumb because he was actually he tried to make me sound so dumb, but he was put away, you know. And it's like I don't even need to say that or anything. It's just like I'm
done talking about this
exactly,
story.
exactly. So yeah, this is welcome to our life. It never gets boring, baby. I got your back.
Yeah, thank you.
And Afro, so nice to be in tribe. And Kopangan, wow, baby, I love it so much here.
I love it too.
Like our life. Like yesterday, the aesthetic dance on Sundays, this nice aesthetic dance at Pyramid. It was so nice dancing with you, having a fun dance, having a sexual dance up on stage, and then talking to nice people, getting a sugar cane juice with double lime and ice, getting some Thai food, getting a coconut, just vibing, just being.
Yeah, it's like so surprising to me. I mean, not really, but I just say this because I don't know. It's the closest thing I can say. Is that the time goes by so fast when we're there? Because the thing is for 4 hours or longer, and we got there, you know, maybe 11:30, but we were there till 2:30. So that I think that's 4 hours. Am I right? Doing time right?
And
11:30, 12:30.
yeah.
No, it's only 3 hours, but still, it's a long time.
And it's like so.
The amount of time it took me to figure out if that was 3 or 4 hours.
I was already thinking about something like a download that came. How this is like, these are all things like the new Earth taste, the new Earth frequency taste, like where we're shifting. And I mean, the island is already dead in so many ways, and there's still these things like we quote unquote have to do that are like part of the old world, because like we're bridging the gap, like we're like living in the old world and we're being the new world. And here so many people live, like be in the new world, like living it vibrationally.
You mean here on the island?
Here on the island.
Yeah. That
these things are created like the pyramid dance, where we can all experience it together collectively, and we're all buzzing and time flies. And then, you know, they're like endless nice things. Like then we go to Naked Beach and we met a lot of people there again, and they're like playing guitar, and it's like, this is so amazing.
And then we make love in the water,
baby, and we're like not holding back. I was like, I want to be in my body and enjoy it. I don't care if people get it. And then
okay, just so if people are like, how did they actually do that, I just kind of put my arms around Ferdi as if like he's holding me, and we're like very far away, like very deep in the water.
Yeah. Like
it's not like we're like just naked humping and people are watching.
It was in the water. Like we're respectful. Like always, I want no one to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like
say in the positive.
Thank you. I always want people to feel comfortable. That's why also when we were dancing yesterday so sexually, I was asking you like, do you think this is too much? Like I want that people feel comfortable. You're like, it's fine. No one sees your boner.
But also, I have seen people dance way more sexual than what we were doing.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, it's like all the energy. Like, do people take up space and want like, look at me? Or do people just like love each other and just like grinding and vibing?
Yeah, I mean, you were telling me like, wow, so many people were watching us.
Yeah, but it's
and I was like, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, and it's not that we were like taking up space, or we're like going in the middle of the dance floor, like we're taking up space.
No,
it's
we were
just
like on the side doing our own thing.
So it's like all our energy, and yeah. It's like all your energy. Then you can like stop asking your questions like, am I too much? Am I taking too much space? Like it's all the energy you do it in. So just be yourself.
Yeah, if you are in your authenticity, that is the vibration everyone is going to feel.
Yeah. And if people don't like that, then it's like their gift, like their nice trigger. Like here, you're welcome. Now you can like ask yourself why this is triggering you. Baby. Yeah, like, you know, I have my OnlyFans and you're opening yours soon. And I'm so excited because mine is already super nice by me like taking like empowering pictures of how I'm like, because we're naked most of the time anyways. But then these moments where we're like dancing or having sex in the water, I want those to be captured. I want to have AI that is filming us 24/7 and then But yeah, that's why Carl is gonna be AI. We're gonna tell
You're just
Carl
gonna swim out in the water.
with his underwater GoPro.
Baby.
Yeah, I mean, flow state. Stay tuned.
Just picturing that, like, what?
Yeah, because I don't want these super visual, like I want to shift away from this visual shit of because the pleasure is like all the feeling, and I want to convert this frequency, you know, of us loving each other, and when we're making love, like how much we like, you know. But it doesn't need to be like focusing on the.
Yesterday when we were talking to one of my girlfriends who also hosts sexuality workshops on the island, we were talking about sharing on our OnlyFans about us making love and just like that vibration, how a lot of people have reached out and said that they want to subscribe and see that, like us making love. And she's like, yeah, my pussy just got wet.
Baby, and I have so much fun with my OnlyFans. It's my little own vortex, and I just take my empowering, nice, vulnerable, amazing pictures and then writing these captions that I just channel from the universe that are so empowering and nice. And it's just my own, like, I don't look how other people do OnlyFans. It's like your download. You don't need to fix the porn industry. Just be the change you wish to see.
Yeah.
So we're right now just creating a lot of content. And then eventually Brittany gets excited to launch hers, and then it's all over the news, so you cannot miss it.
All over the news.
Breaking news. Brittany Bond started her OnlyFans and the internet broke.
Couldn't handle it. This is what I'm really worried about. Can the world handle it?
No, maybe everything will be upside down. Dog starts to speak Chinese. Cats start to be gay.
What? That's not upside down. Cats can be gay if they want to.
No, I'm speaking about all cats gonna be gay. I'm just joking. I'm just talking dumb things. Baby. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right.
What's happening?
Should we drive now down with the car?
I don't know if I want to do it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it after the podcast.
What we're going to do next.
Let's eat some watermelon first.
Okay.
Okay. Enjoy this little bashar cutout. Wake up!
Are you seriously still putting those out?
Yeah, it's so nice.
I think it's great. I love Bashar, babe. I just thought it was funny.
And now,
I know.
and now, listen.
What?
So many people, this is how I lured them, I don't know if this is a word, lured them into
Yes,
Bashar
that is the word.
by putting it at the end of my podcast. And then so many people told me, Ferdi, first I was skipping
I
Bashar.
want you to know that when people usually use that word, lure, it's like when like a pedophile lures a child and then molests
So it's
them.
the perfect word for that.
It's like, what?
First they were like, first I skipped the Bashar nuggets, then I listened a little bit, and then I got hooked. And now I listen to only Bashar. And now I so wake up. Because at the end of my first podcast, when I started doing that, I was putting the nicest nuggets in that are like so about the human stuff, you know?
And
so,
you're not doing that anymore?
And now I go full alien mode. But it's just like, because now people listen to Bashar, you know? It's like the world has shifted.
They get it.
Baby, it was a whole different reality 2 years ago when I opened the world to aliens. They were like, what?
You open the world.
In my vortex, yeah. In like my German Bashar vortex.
Yeah, yeah. When you started your Bashar cult.
Yeah, exactly. You can subscribe to my OnlyFans.
It's the Bashar cult.
Exactly. Okay, thanks for check out Brittany's podcast. That's my biggest recommendation. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Until next time.
I love you.
That a soulmate can be anyone that is reflecting to you at any given moment what it is you need to know to become more of who you truly are. A twin flame can do the same thing, but we understand that you can also see the concept of a twin flame as the idea of the oversoul creating very specific incarnations that interact with each other on a certain frequency level that creates or contains the potential for the highest amount of reflectivity back and forth to allow each other to grow. So it's almost like you're vibrating in each other's fields because you contain similar frequencies. It's almost, in a sense, like you sense it's one thing being split in two. It is two things. Each is independent. But they are so geared, so harmoniously vibrating together, so much so on a similar frequency that they can appear to be split-offs of one thing, which ultimately, of course, they are because there is only one thing in creation. But that's how you express it in your physical reality.